Welcome back to Abra Knowledge channel. Today we are going to discuss a wonderful topic called Minitab pre-sample data folder. And you may be wondering that how we can access the data freely within Minitab and practice it for all topic, whether you say control chart, whether you say design of experiment, whether you say any given topic from basic to advanced, how we can access just within Minitab, not taking the data anything outside or not trying to take the data from different things, and then how we can practice within the Minitab. And I have a very good news for you. And there are more than 100 files are there, more than several folders are being kept within Minitab where you can take and do practice, right? And I'm sure that you may not know it. It is going to be mind-boggling. Stay tuned till the end. You will get the amazing piece of information. Number one. The second agenda which we are going to discuss is that how to manage the data, whether the data is a normal data, non-normal data. I think we discuss in the version number 7. Basically, we discussed that how to convert the non-normal data to normal data. Just to extend that, one of the other wing is that you can just, there are 2 3 ways we can manage the data, non-normal data. Either you try to, if the data is very essential and then you need to proven to be non-normal and then you wanted to do a conversions, you can do a transformation. Like for example, when you come to a variable control chart and IMR chart and all that, you can do box cox transformation. If it comes to the process capability, we can do variable method and all that. Similarly, that is one way to manage through the transformation. Another way to manage is that you can just split the data, group the data, and try to see why is that natural pattern that it is going to be having a common variations or not. So that is one which we are going to discuss today. And there is something, it has a 2 3 different word. One is called grouping, paneling, and you can also like cluster the data, right? Going to be very interesting. And this is coming from the book called Cookbook and directly from the Minitab 17 version, getting started with Minitab. So I'm going to brief more from the chapter number 2, that is graphical, graphing the data. That is what we are going to discuss. And to do that, I have already taken down how to do and all that. I will keep this one. Basically, panel data and how to access the data and how to go to that one we are going to discuss. So let's go back to agenda. This is the 2 topic we are going to discuss. So go to Minitab, and in a Minitab, this is version number 17, and there's a lower version, but still it has that capability to retrieve the data and retrieve more than 100 sample data. All you need to do is you need to go to file, and in the file you have open worksheet. This is very important. And generally it has been people think that open the worksheet mean it will open from our folder and all that. No, it is open within the Minitab. So open the worksheet, and then whatever the data you have, right? For example, getting started, this is the folder I have, and if you wanted to go back, of course you can go back to this data. And so there are a lot of the data we have: DOE, Eastern, quality reports, session command, and shipping data and all that. So right beneath, if you come back to this one, this is what I'm going to talk about it. Look in Minitab sample data folder. Have a click in this, and all these will be coming down. Getting started, student 1, 8, 9, 12, 14. And you see here amazing lots of files. You can definitely make use of it. Anything if you take it, whether I think such a complex topic like DOE, hypothesis and all that, you can simply practice from these very folders. You take this file and then try to see what is the purpose of it, why we are using it and all that. So lots of data is already available. Definitely you can make use of it, right? So now in this video we're going to talk about the grouping the data, right? To group the data, I found that file inside the getting started, right? So under the getting started, you have a shipping data, right? Have a click the shipping data. and I'm gonna give okay. Okay, no, let me maximize it. So all the data, I didn't have any data. So all I did, I just took the data directly from the Minitab. Very interesting, right? So now I have a data column one, which is Eastern, Western, and all that I have. And this is the work order, I mean order ID. And this has capture along with the date and arrival. Okay. And then this is the date, days, and it has the value of minus value, arrival date minus order date, and what is the status, whether it's on time, whether it's in time, and all that. For example, let's say the order date is 4 and arrival date is 10, and that means it's a 6 days gap is there, right? So 6 days, whether it's a late and all that, there is also a status, and very importantly, distance. Okay. First of all, whenever you have a such data, very importantly, what you need to do is we need to find out what is the variable. So distance is a variable. Why we say distance is a variable? Because it's a measurable. You will not be able to get to know unless you just calculate it. And days also variable, because actually it is coming from this value, order and arrival, right? So this is also a value. For example, arrival minus order, this is what the dates also coming, right? So maybe what I will do, I will just add this in the text so that it will be easy for you. Okay. Some data has been kept blank. Maybe I will just put that random data. Okay. And insert, replace with active cell. Okay. And I'm going to do this also as well. Maybe I will just copy paste the same data. Okay, and whenever you copy it, you just select the array and then copy. That's the best way to do it. And here also I'm doing the same thing, right? And back in order. Okay, so now let's go back to the actual exercise. So there are a lot of data are available. Now I'm going to do uh, the grouping of this one. Meaning I'm going to do a histogram, right? Go to histogram graph and go to histogram. In the histogram with fit, you can have a click and give okay. As you know that the variable what we have is that distance, right? And if you just give here, I'm just giving here, giving okay. This is the natural histogram. You have got it, and it says that mean is 262 and standard deviation is 100, and 100 days is the difference, and when 100 is the distance, and the n equal to 319, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to same data. Now it has given overall. If you look at here, this is overall data. This comprises of all 319 data set, but I'm going to break it down. How we will do? I'll go to again Control E to go back to the previous window. You have to click Control E and go to the multiple graph. In the multiple graph, by variable, right? By variable, what I will do, I will just split the data, 319 data by center. Give okay, give okay. Okay, this has come very beautifully. Now the same data, now you will find it like in terms of the center, right? Central, eastern, and western, right? You have in terms of this one. Easily you can get to know. For example, mean is 252, one here, and here the distance is 252, here 282, and 251. And the standard deviation is 100, 107, 89, right? And now this is one way to panel the data. Panel the variable I have selected is center. Let me go ahead. What I will do again, I will go to multiple graph by variable in, and let's say I wanted to go by status, right? This is also going to be interesting, right? Back in order, how many we have, late, how many we on time, we have more. That is the good news, right? And that means back order is this is the one we have, late we have, and all that. But this is just a status, like more of a discrete, right? Little more of this one. No, I'm going back to this one. Let me stick back to there is something called center. Okay, give okay. This is what I have. Let let me also do a change. Now it is given like all independent chart. For example, independent histogram. This one, and all three are there. I wanted to combine all them, not combine by grouping. Typically, we do this one, right? So Control E and go to multiple graph, overlaid graph. It has not made any difference, right? Even overlaid also. Overlaid meaning like all three will come in one histogram, right? Overlaid also will not be helpful because we have just have in one column, so it's not possible. So what we have to do, go to again Control you can give, and you can go to this graph. In the graph, you can see how best we can do, and go to okay, let's say, so this is okay. Now what I will do, I have to edit the panel, right? So this panel, this is a data. All I can do it, there are two ways to do it. Either directly I can do it through the panel, right? Instead of searching there, I can do directly from the panel. Panel, click on panel, and arrangement. How I want that is that, let's say I want the rows to be 3 and column to be 1, or rows to be 2 and column to be 1. Oh, it is in the same setup. Okay. In the arrangement, you have rows, number of rows we can have 3, and column we can have 1, right? So that all it can come in 1, right? Okay, so this has come. Now it is slightly easier to interpret, right? So for example, this has come beautifully, right? Not overlaid, okay, but it has come like separately. If you see here, central has the standard deviation of 100, right? I'm talking about the distance. And then when you say 107, even more, split, skew, split. And then this seems to be perfect. I mean, not perfect, very better. And 89 only we have. So this is how you can easily split down the data, right? All I did was, and there are two ways. One, you can go back to this panel. From the panel, let's say number of rows we have, of course, central, western, and this one, we have 3 pattern, and then that 3 is coming to 1, right? This is one. Or you want vice versa, right? This also you can do vice versa. Let's say you wanted to convert that number of rows, right? This is columns. No, it has converted in 3 columns and 1 row, right? Control E, how you can do. So let me show you one more time. Panel, and in the panel arrangement, this is 1 row, only 1 row, 3 columns, right? This is one way to look out. Another way is 3 into 1. Okay, this is another way to look out, right? So any one graph, whatever you like it, you can take it. And for example, if this is the one, maybe I'll arrange it everything. This is one, and this is another way. The normal which has given actually, like it has given like in the natural paneling, just panel. The same panel, what we have done, we have just done some arrangement. This is one. And now this is by status, back order, late, and on time. We're not going to use now. And this is also one of the ways to do it, right? This also we already have, right? So that means this is a natural one we have got, right? And now this is everything coming down to one column. Similarly, I will do the same thing. I will try to keep it in the same one. Right click, and then panel, and then arrangement, and then row should be 1 and column should be 3. It already came, but it got minimized, so I'm trying to have that also as well. Okay, so this also we can take it. So thereby you can just And whenever you wanted to see magnifying way, you wanted to be focused and you wanted to see which is the region center is being not doing good and all that, we can easily do that, right? And even if you wanted to say that arrange the data, you wanted to sort by the days also is possible. For example, this is even going to be interesting. Let's say number of days I'm taking it. Okay, number of days, and then now just this a normal one. I mean, I will just remove the panel at the moment. First I will show you the overall graph, then I will do that. First what I will do, I will remove everything, no variable in. Okay, and I will just keep this one. This is a normal one. I'm just going now. I'm the first factor, the first variable which I did was in the previous one was distance. Now I'm going with the days. This is the number of days. It says that the mean is 3.7 days or 3.8 days, right? With having of 1.3 days difference. So this is all the centers together and all that. What I'm doing is I'm adding one more factor, right? Center. So to do that, Control E, I'm going back to the one, and group by variable, I'm going to add by center. So now this center also been added. So now here you can easily see. So 3.9 days, 4.4 days, taking more time, and then 2.9 days. So in any cases, whether you go by distance, go by the center, and western seems to be better, right? In terms of arriving and all that, right? So this is how you can, the same chart, you can recall that, if you wanted to change this pattern, you have, all you have to do is you have to do this arrangement. This is an automatic one, and I'm changing that all I want in one. So one row and 3 columns. So this is also we can do, right? So the same thing, now it has been split into this one. Let's say we wanted to do everything into one column, and that also possible. Go to this, and by variables, I mean, we are changing the data, right? So go to panel and arrangement. I'm going to have 3 columns with only one column with the 3 rows. So this also came up, right? So easily, so this the graph has been split down into this. You can easily see that, the western is the better one. The arriving date is lesser than this. So this is the max we can find it like here, and here you find it, even it goes beyond that also as well, beyond the bell curve. And this is how you can easily interpret it. Now in the next video, we are also going to discuss about how to, let me see, if you wanted to see that data, let's say you wanted to check the data, normality of the data for C4 and C9, that also we can quickly check, and then just to ensure that we have a normal data, right? Again, so if you interesting thing is normality data is only applicable for the data which is there in the variable form, right? So automatically Minitab has given C6 is a variable distance and C4 is a variable, right? So I've not specified the value. So this is seems to be normal data 73.4, but still, grouping will be helpful and all that, right? So this is one, and then the last I will do it for distance also as well. So this is not normal data, right? In terms of distance, I think the best way to manage it, either you can do grouping. That's what grouping we have done now, and grouping will be very, very handy in order to pick that up. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do like, share, subscribe my channel. You have wonderful day ahead.